I'm Marci Barron, and this is Mondays with Marci. I'm your homeward bound guide to everything 5D living. I can't wait to share with you tips and tools to guide your personal transformation so that you can live a life that thrills you. Hello, and welcome to this week's Mondays with Marci. I am Marci Barron, your host, and this week we're going to talk about how to free yourself from the prison of your mind. So, last week, early this week, whatever, this podcast is coming out on Monday. So a week ago, we celebrated Independence Day here in the United States. And it's interesting what's coming up in the collective is a lot of people don't feel that they are free or what's happened to the United States and, all of this energy around what the heck is going on. And it's understandable because every single day there is something in the mainstream media, in the government, and all the things that are coming up that make us believe, and I'm putting believe in quotes, that we aren't free. And that is just not true. There is always a choice to be free. There is always a choice to become sovereign, which is fully free within your being. So I want to just explore this a little bit, this independence, freeing yourself from the prison of your mind, because your mind, your thoughts, the reality you're creating within is literally keeping you imprisoned. So in the energy of Independence Day and freedom, that was the day that the United States declared its independence from England. And I'm going to say the word declared in quotes, that in no uncertain terms, that we were free from the tyrannical rule of the King of England. Right? Now, the actual freedom came later via the Revolutionary War, but I want you to look at and feel and understand the power of just the intention or the act of declaration of freedom. And again, for me, this freedom, this whole thing is a national holiday. It is what it became. This is what July 4th actually was the declaration of freedom. It wasn't even the actual freedom. So again, freedom has kind of evolved to me into being sovereign. Sovereignty is complete autonomy over your body, mind, and spirit. And Bob Marley has a quote, "Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds." Okay, and the truth is most of us hold ourselves hostage. It's the prison of our own minds that enslave us. And there's a thought form, there's a belief, there's a program, if you will, that in whatever way it's showing up for you is keeping you stuck. So we are our own taskmasters, our own worst tyrannical oppressors. But we also hold the key to the very freedom, autonomy, sovereignty we seek. So my question to you is, how are you keeping yourself stuck? Recently, I spoke to an old friend and he was like, things are going great, but it always happens. Once I get momentum to make things happen, I always get pulled backwards. And for me, that was like the record screeching, like, I was like, whoa, okay. I said, I pointed it out to him that this is his own limiting beliefs, and it is in his certainty that this is the truth of his life. And because it is, it will be. He's holding himself hostage through this story he's telling himself. He is already buying into that what's happened in the past is going to be repeated in the future. He's always pulled backwards. I also know another man, he's so hung up on his past relationships and afraid of getting hurt that he can't fully embrace and see the beauty of the life in front of him, just waiting for him to claim. He holds on to so much guilt and sadness and shame, and he's unable to put that down as there's a wonderful woman in front of him that wants to love him and is slipping through his fingers. So I also know another woman, she gets so overwhelmed with her life that she deems herself powerless to take any action. She imprisons herself every day through the inertia because she sees her work as too much, and she paralyzes herself with fear. Okay, so what should these people do to be set free? And if there's a part of you that feels imprisoned and not free and not sovereign, what should you do to be set free? So first of all, we all first need to declare our freedom and emancipate ourselves from the imprisonment of these traumas, the imprisonment. So say to yourself first, no more. We first have to make the decision to be free, autonomous, and sovereign, and then take the action steps to do so. So although the colonists had to go to war, I am going to propose a much more peaceful plan. So I am going to give you the steps to declare freedom from the prison of your mind. Freedom is yours to claim. Okay? So here's how we're going to set yourself free from the prison of your mind. First, on a sheet of paper or in your mind, if you're just listening, you're going to identify the negative self-talk, the habits, and the feelings that keep you stuck. So if you have trouble doing this, keep the paper with you and make a list and write it down as you catch yourself doing this, right? So negative self-talk. I can't do this. I don't know how. I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me, right? Habits are whatever you're doing that don't feel aligned and comfortable. So it could be the addictions, food, social media, alcohol. And the feelings are, shame, guilt, abandonment, betrayal, sadness, grief. Just start making a list, okay? And if you want to pause this podcast, pause this video, go ahead. Then, as you make this list, make as many things that you need to. Like literally just do a brain dump and put it all on paper. And for now, I want you to pick one that you feel is the most troublesome and keeping you stuck. So one might have just jumped out in your mind. And I'm going to use the example of that first man that I spoke of. Things are going great, but it always happens. Once I get momentum to make things happen, I always get pulled backwards. So I'm going to use that as my example. So if this man wrote that on his piece of paper, he's going to cross it out on the list. And I want you to cross it out on your list. And I want you to write, I declare my freedom from this. So literally, you are declaring your freedom from this habit, from this pattern, from this belief, from these feelings, this whole little package that's keeping you stuck. Now, I want you to make a list of positive affirmations to turn this negative self-talk around. So here are examples from the above situation, and it could be used for yours as well. So it's like, I live in the now. Each moment is new. I choose to see my self-worth. I love and approve of myself. I am powerful and always moving forward. I am safe and relax into the flow of life. I give myself permission to succeed. I am worthy of success. Life always supports me. I am worthy of financial abundance. Money flows easily to me. And I am free of all of these limiting beliefs that keep me stuck. That's a good one because it covers a lot that might be unconscious. So now I want you to pick one of those affirmations that feels really resonant to you. And I want you to, if you have a phone calendar, I want you to program it into your phone calendar that every day at 7 a.m. or 9 p.m., like whenever it feels right for you, to see this affirmation. So for example, 7 a.m. could be, I live in the now. 9 p.m. could be, I go to sleep with a clear head. Like whatever you need to hear of that soft, loving voice of how you want to reprogram and be free. So anytime, this next part is anytime you start to imprison yourself with the negative self-talk or habits, use one of your affirmations to set yourself free. So again, you are literally reprogramming your subconscious in the here and now with an affirmation. And affirmations are really powerful. And again, I don't want you to bypass, there's no spiritual bypassing here. It's okay to have your emotions. It's okay to, feel like this isn't, this is not like, bullshit Band-Aid over it. It's just a way to declare your freedom. It's a choice we make each and every moment. It's a way that if your ship gets off course, you can reset the direction into the way and direction and energy that you want to go. And one of my favorite authors is Louise Hay. And the book she wrote, You Can Heal Your Life, has so many affirmations and especially connected to physical things that show up in the body and emotional charges around those things. And if you want a really deep transformative experience to release what's no longer serving you, if you want a really incredible immersive experience, I am announcing and have announced my fall retreat called The Season of You. It's October 13th through the 16th. It's in the Pocono Mountains, which is in Pennsylvania. It's peak foliage season. And the fall, which seems so far off, but again, if this speaks to your heart, I invite you to send me an email. The Season of You retreat is your opportunity to soak in the beauty of fall and for releasing while also making way for transformation. So there's an energy when the leaves go of letting go. And if you really want to have an immersive experience where you're ready to let go of, it could be like a relationship, a job, a habit, an identity, or a way of being in the world, the way that you're putting in the prison of your mind. We're going to use the energy of fall to release and let things fall away so that it can make space for what wants to come. And retreats with like-minded women is the perfect time and perfect way to do that. All of my retreats are really transformative. You come in a certain place, a certain timeline, a certain frequency, and you leave and I'm not exaggerating, a totally different person. I'm going to link in the show notes the link for the retreat. And I'm also going to link in the show notes a podcast episode where I interviewed the women who came on my retreats and talked about the transformations. So this October of 2022, I invite you to release what's holding you back from the extraordinary possibilities that wait for you. And if it speaks to your heart, if this is something that feels aligned in your soul, reach out to me. I don't, I speak to everybody and interview everybody that wants to come on the retreats. And this might be a desire for you to fully, once and for all, let go of the stories that are holding you back. This exercise is a good way to identify it. But again, an immersive experience in nature with like-minded women who are literally become sisters, sisterhood. This is a chance for you to release, renew, and restore together. All right. So if this message, this practice, this understanding about declaring your freedom and being set from the prison of your mind, or even this retreat speaks to your soul and you know someone needs to hear this, I ask for you to send it to them. Thank you for being here. I will see you next time. Bye. That's it for this week's episode of Mondays with Marci. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter at marcibaronclears.com. I also would love for you to follow me on your favorite podcasting app so that you don't miss a single episode. I'm Marci Baron, and thanks for listening. I am so grateful you are here.